My name is Gage Johnson and racing round 2 of the OMRA series here at Prineville. My KX250 today to race because I blew up my 450 at that mudder crazy squirrel a couple weeks back. Rolled into the Prineville motocross park at like 8:30. Hung out and talked it up with my buddies Reed Brown and all the other OMRA guys, Blake Babcock, Dave White. Some smack talk went down, I guess, and the Bolins weren't there, so that was kind of sad because normally they're here smack talking too, and you can normally boost your confidence a little bit, making Stefan cry or something. Well, anyways, then got closer to time to race. The butterfly started happening a little bit, and went down there, walked the start. I think I was probably actually kind of crappy start, but luckily passed up a few guys on the motocross track. Kenny Worley was ripping today, and he jumped past me on the first jump, and I was like, what the heck? And because I never really didn't see him jumping all that much, but he just went for it, and then I passed him back in the inside on the next turn, and then I think I was in like 4th or 5th, and then stayed there the rest of the motocross track before we went into the woods. Kenny ended up passing me up in the rocky section. I was riding pretty tight, struggling a little bit, and then he pulled me a little bit and passed up Blake, who I think was currently in 3rd or 2nd at the time, and passed up Blake, and then they both pulled me, man. I was just ping-ponging off of all sorts of crap, and it was a little bit rough. I think I went down twice on the first lap, which was really weird because first laps normally you ride, kind of calm and reserved just to make sure you're not gonna blow a turn or something, on the course that's not marked. Then got feeling a little bit better, and then I caught back up to Blake, and I went to try to pass him on this turn, and right when we're entering, I was right on his butt, and right when we were entering, I slid out the front wheel, caught a rock, carried my front wheel up in the air a little bit, and I slammed my pipe right on the ground. And so then I get going again, and my bike sounds like just an old bull taco, straight pipe 2-stroke. And I like, oh dude, this is gonna suck. I'm gonna have a headache for the rest of this race. I'm not wearing earplugs or nothing. It's just loud. So I got off my bike and I tried to like kick it back in because it kind of bent the exhaust out of the cylinder, and I got it to be a little less noisy, but it was still pretty noisy. So my bottom end on my bike then felt pretty good because it was straight pipe, not really. So it was all the bottom end that I had is all gone. So now I'm just on like a light switch KX250. So it's either all power or but really loud. And so I just kept going, and then my 3rd lap I rode really good somehow. I don't know what got into me. I started riding the rocks a lot better. I started not squeezing so tight with my legs like I normally do on my bikes, not worrying about weighting my pegs and stuff in the turns. I was just like riding all loose and kind of like letting my bike do whatever it wanted. Riding the creek section's real good, and ended up catching back up to Blake. He had a pretty big gap on me. Catching back up to him, and then he bent his shifter lever before I caught up to him all the way. I was just in his dust, and then he ended up pulling off the side right in front of me, and I think he ended up calling it a day. So then I was in 3rd, and I was like, all right, I got a good gap over whoever's behind me, I thought. So I just kept cruising along, and been eating a little too much fast food, I think, because I started to get some nice leg cramps on the end of the 4th, or in the middle of the 4th lap, and I was like, are you kidding me? This is gonna be great. So I started riding a little bit tight again. I just worked through it, just clenched my teeth down and just tried to ride as good as I could. Ended up having a few mistakes that lap. I think I tipped over once in one of the rockier sections. Just front wheel came out from under me. Got going again. Ended up going down again, I think. So that's my 4th crash of the freaking race, which, I'm not supposed to be crashing that much. Reminded me back when I was an amateur, I used to crash like every other section. So got going again, started just cruising, like riding just smooth, cruising, trying to ride like my buddy Reed, just low energy, and it was working out for me pretty decently. But then I looked behind me, and my buddy Gage Johnson was catching me. I was like, oh man, Matt's ripping. So we got on the 5th lap, the last lap of the race, and Matt was right on me. I had a pit, so it was my 2nd pit of the race because I was running a little stock tank. So my 2nd pit, got out of the pits, and Matt was right on me. I'm like, oh no, I don't know what I got left in my tank. So I just tried to ride as calm and methodically as I could, and I ended up holding them off the whole lap until there's this last section. You cross the road, and I come into this turn, and I freaking crash, like good crash. And I'm laying on the ground, and I knew Matt was like 10 seconds behind me, and I'm like trying to like get up, but I'm stumbling, and then I'm like, all right, he's gonna pass me up, and then here he comes, just freaking cruise right past me, and he just yells at me, he goes, oh man, that sucks. And I was like, yeah, it does. And so then he ends up getting 3rd, and I end up pulling in, getting 4th. I was a little upset at first, and then I just realized, you know, racing's for fun, and that's why we all do it. And sometimes you go out and you race bad, or you race really good, and all of it's a learning experience, and you learn a lot about yourself every time you race. So got to give it up to my dad and my mom, everybody that lets me race. Thank Derek Steely for doing my suspension, MV2, and Steely off-road products, and all the guys that helped me out. All right.